we are back. Hey, y'all, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth.
Mhm.
Not gonna happen in this video, but that's all right. Joining me as always is my special guest, Mrs. Best. She is my best friend in the whole wide world. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello. I messed up my lighting, but I'm here.
Yes, and if y'all have not seen my Bell Collective review for this week, part two, y'all not gonna want to miss it. We had such a good time. So stay to the end because y'all gonna be in it for a little surprise.
Actually,
Hey, y'all watch this first. Don't go over there yet. Watch this first. So overall, we are going to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. Y'all, this was a filler episode. I don't know where this is going. I don't know where Real Housewives of Potomac is going. I don't know. Like the only thing I want to see leading up to is the fight between Karina, Kiera, some shit, and Deborah. I want to see the fight between them two. So that's Ashley and Wendy's friend. They get into a fight.
okay, I was like,
Yes.
who the hell are these
And I thought that
heifers?
was, and I was mad because I thought that was Giselle who fell, and I was mad it wasn't. So
That was for this season.
yes,
This
that was for this
season
season.
so far has sucked. So it's crazy. I'm looking at your thing. It says this is episode 9.
Yes.
It's like
We're on
9 weeks of
episode
nothing.
9, and it's I don't know. As I said, I don't know where they're going. So, oh
Oh,
yeah,
what
the
the
one the
cameras
cameras
miss.
missed. Yep, pretty much. So the show opens up with Karen. She's talking with Ray. She's talking about the heart condition that she has, y'all, and she says that she needs to be able to reach Ray. He's very busy, and I'm like, Ray ain't retired. Ain't Ray 85? Like he ain't retired yet. He's
How
still
old
working.
is Ray? Because he was
Got to be.
supposed to be like, what, 20 something years older than Karen?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I
Karen
was
just
like,
turned 60.
yeah,
So
it got to be 80. Yeah,
wait, why
Ray.
is he still working?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why is he still working? But
That's how errors and shit happen.
hmm
I know age discrimination is bad, but I think once you pass 70, you don't need to be at work no more. Let
shout out,
somebody else do it.
shout out to my girl Nia Green in the chat, y'all. I forgot all about that random ass fight with the random B rated cast. I'm just saying, hell, they might as well have gave them they flutes and just made the main cast member. Even though I don't like one of them, but I'm just saying for the two friend ofs to be fighting, you know, this is what we get. Okay, so the scene then moves over to Giselle and her daughter, and basically from what we gather at this scene is that the daughter, she's so cute. Damn, what's that baby's name? Shit,
Grace,
it's Grace.
Grace,
I was going to say delightful, Grace. Um, So her and Grace go to self-defense class. I learned two things. Grace is a lot stronger than her mama, and Giselle
do
can't
not
fight.
play with her.
Yeah, and Giselle can't fight. So we know two things are true here. So, basically, Giselle tells her daughter, "Look, you going off to college. I am going to cry, but I don't want you to worry." And I kind of had a sentimental feeling for Giselle because I know that's not easy for any mother to see their child going off to college and not being in the home with them anymore, especially when they're close. So it was a cute scene. It really was. I enjoyed watching it. I don't enjoy Giselle much, but this was an enjoyable scene to see her in. So moving on from here.
I just want to say real fast, I
Mhm.
am excited for all of Giselle's children to go to college because if this show is still on, then we will know what the fuck Giselle really gives. I'm sick of it. Like her kids are cute. I have no issue with her kids. I do think she's a good mom, but that scene for me, I wasn't touched. I felt kind of the energy of her daughter. I feel like
Mhm.
sometimes they're like, okay, we've already talked about this, but now we have to do it again because the cameras are here. I'm over it.
Exactly. And that's how I feel too. I'm just like, why? Like, and then she did show the little boyfriend. Remember, I got on her about not revealing this boyfriend anymore. She did a FaceTime when we actually got to see his face. That's all we gonna see of him. And then she did say on Watch What Happens Live that they're still dating as of today. She doesn't go to his house when she goes to New York because remember he lives in New York. She lives in Maryland, so they don't see each other. So she stays at a hotel. He comes stays with her when she comes to New York and all this and that. I'm just like, Tell us y'all are not together without telling us y'all not together.
Listen, turkey necks is good when you let them cook slow. So
Oh
that's what
yeah,
we're
that's
doing
true.
with her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Just don't forget the gravy. But
That's right.
anyways,
So,
it really did. Grace, you know what was funny about them? Grace always get them daughters, all three of them. Uh, what color
I
me
don't
pink
remember.
said Dixie, Daisy, and Daffodil. They be give it every time. I'm telling you, you just want to
Daisy and
sing.
daffodil.
That's what color. Shout out to Color Me Pink, Keisha Irving, y'all. That is like she is one of my best friends in my head. I promise you, I love her so much. She be thinking exactly what I be thinking. So moving on from here, we have a scene with Wendy and her mama. I'm gonna try to be as respectful as I possibly can. I don't know what the fuck happened in this scene because I was too distracted looking at Wendy's mama, and I couldn't tell if that was bleach or if that was spray paint or if that was makeup. I don't know what that was, but it's something I'm noticing. I don't know why this is going on because Wendy's mama was not that complexion when we first met her. What's happening here? I need to know because it does not look right.
What I will say about Wendy's mom, and I'm gonna say it now just because you'll see why. I don't like her. And listen, if I was to see this lady in Safeway shopping for my groceries, and I was to interact with her, I would not like her. I would not think, oh, this is someone's mother. Let's keep it real. Most of you bitches is somebody's mama. So I'm not gonna say that I like someone or hold my tongue just because they're someone's mother. I'm not disrespecting this lady, but I feel like her mom is extra. And of all the moms I've seen on reality TV, how can I put it? I'd rather see Mama Jones or Mama D before I see Wendy's mom. And I don't know why Wendy keeps trying to force her mom on us every season.
I guess it was to draw context, and I told y'all I am not talking about Wendy and Aneka's beef for the
Mhm.
remainder of this season. I am not. I will do a little insert here, and I'll say it like this: they did give context that the mom did confirm that Lebe was Ivy, which is the other daughter. They were friends and they had a falling out. So that was confirmed. So we do have context on that. We also have context that the relationship that Lebe had with the mama is that they used to think that she was one of her daughters. And that, when the falling out happened, it was kind of hard because it was like, yeah, she was like family. So now, because once again, Wendy didn't say she didn't know this lady, but Wendy did downplay the relationship a little bit because there's no way that my brother can bring somebody to the house, my mama looking at them as a kid, that I would not have a relationship with this person as well. I've actually have done this where I brought somebody in my family's home, and my brother did have like a cordial relationship where they knew each other, they talked, they did everything. So I don't necessarily believe Wendy on this. I just she's starting to look a little fishy on her side. But once
I
again,
feel like she coached her mama for the
yeah,
camera. And then, yeah, it's because Leb probably, it's just messy. I don't even want to comment on it because we can't really comment on it without inferencing what we think happened. But we don't have a way of even, we don't even have a piece of the truth. So I'm over it. She does make me uncomfortable with the skin bleaching and the contacts and the holier than thou. It's the elephant in the room. Thank you, Naya. Thank you.
you said it very nicely there. You did because it was like I don't know what I'm looking at. It just looks like someone who is trying to be a white woman, and I need her to stop. I need her to cut it out.
Like, and how you think we not gonna catch that when Wendy is a true Hershey's Kiss? Like,
And
how
I
are
mean, it
we?
was sitting that scene just beautiful. Like it literally looked like that fountain that had that chocolate.
Mhm.
Wendy literally looks like that, sitting in that chair, sitting on that sofa.
A lot of in African culture though, because I got some cousins and stuff in Kenya. Shout out to y'all,
Yeah.
nothing though. But that skin bleaching is like a thing in Africa. People
Is
do it
it?
a lot. Yes, it's very common
What's the reason behind it? Do you know that?
to look more light skinned so that they can blend. There's still a lot of segregation in a lot of places, and it
Oh,
helps. Africans are like everywhere you go, there's status, obviously. and there's different things like in America, there's colorism and all of that. But over there, they have their little situation as well. Like if you're poor, some people will bleach their skin to think they can find richness or a husband who's rich. Like it's a thing. It's a legit
That's
thing.
crazy.
Now, I'm just speaking for Kenya and South Africa. I don't know what goes on in Nigeria. I'm not Nigerian, even though they constantly think I am and come up to me talking Igbo, but I am not Nigerian, so I won't comment on that. But I know in Africa they bleach. So
I was trying to be respectful, but it's on our screens. How the fuck we not going to see it? And that's exactly, Naya, once again, you coming through because that's exactly what I want to say. And I just said it. And I'm just, yeah. So,
if you don't want people to talk about your mama, stop bringing her on screen. It's that
and
simple.
another thing, stop talking about this Aneka situation because we do not care at this point. I do not care. I don't want to talk about this because neither one of y'all stories are clear. So, yes, until then, that's when I will talk about it. When the story is clearer, that's when I will talk about it again. It's not clear. Moving on. So we have this date with Mia and G. They basically said that they don't have enough money to pay their nanny, and G decided to, begin cooking. And they invite Robin and Juan out. But before Robin and Juan go in, Juan has a phone call to take. Now, someone asked this question online. I rewatched the scene because I was trying to catch it as well. When he answered the phone, he said, baby or babe, coach. So we trying to figure out, did anybody else hear that too? Or was that just me? So, but to make a long story short, as we're trying to get answers to this question, because I know I definitely heard babe. And he wasn't talking to Robin because she was sitting there looking stupid. But wanted to try to get another coaching job, and it was an assistant coaching job. And he's asking the coach, who we all are alleging is Coach Bree on the other end of that phone call, to try to hook him up with the job and try to make sure he's the first person to be considered. And so Robin pretty much said that, Juan, even though he's taking this time off, he has 15 months to, until his contract's over, he's no longer being paid. So I guess he was paid a full contract, which is really interesting to, seeing how that situation played out. But they go to this cooking class. And as Nia Green said, Mia was the MVP of this episode because somebody had to ask this situation. So she said, I saw he was talking to a lady from the laundromat. She was his coworker. Makes sense to me. I think it's her too. I think it's her. And he said, I heard babe. I did. I don't know what everybody else heard. I heard babe. So yeah, we're gonna go leave it at there. But Mia was like, so why? Talk to me about, the whole you getting a room at the casino. And so Juan says, well, well, see, it was this girl, and she had lost her wallet at the casino. She was, meeting up with some guy, and I felt bad, so I went up to the hotel, to put my credit card down, and I left. And Mia said, so you couldn't have called to, put your credit card down, you had to actually show up there. He would go, well, yeah, I drove to the casino. And Mia's like, well, next time call instead of just going there. Now that Juan has said it out his own mouth, it sounded even more ridiculous than when Robin said it. And the fact that Robin actually believes the story is even more laughable than him actually telling it on national TV out of his own mouth. What did you think, Mrs. Best? I have to get your opinion on when Juan was telling this side of the story.
Juan leads with dealing with women, intentional aggression to make them uncomfortable. I don't like that. I don't like that. And I like how Mia handled him too. When he's like, well, I mean, that's what happened. She's like, oh, okay, well, gotta ask. Like, I don't know. I'm over it, honestly. Usually I have so much more to say, but like Robin and her leader, like, I'm tired of them. This man, Bravo, Andy, call center. Who the fuck I got call? You know what I'm saying? Like, get her off of this show. I think Potomac is heading down the same direction that Atlanta is. There is now a confirmed legacy reboot that is happening. Sheree does not know if she's coming back. Sanya has removed her, title of RHOA from her title. I think Potomac's going to go in that direction because I'm sick of it. Robin and Juan are obviously not in a relationship, but they live together probably for finances. I think they do have sex and act like they in a relationship from time to time. I do. I'm not doubting that. But I don't think that they're in a relationship. Like how even when my dude is irritating me, I'm going to like still be beside him and stuff. I don't think that. Yeah, Nia Green was correct. Fraudulent behavior. And it's so obvious because you have people like Mia and Dr. G, and this is why she's the MVP. She done admitted to being allowed to have other men when she wants to sometimes. Not Dr. G. Lord, I'm getting the G. What the fuck is his
We're
name?
gonna be talking about him in a moment.
Her husband, but what I'm saying is like, people on this show who are in non-traditional marriages have admitted to doing the things that Robin and Juan are obviously doing. Because I heard Babe too. And to where I was literally setting up my lives for the week. Paused, rewind, play. Oh, pause, rewind, play. He said it. And Robin was not bothered. She did not look embarrassed. So that let me know, like, this is something regular. You meeting up with the chick in the laundromat. Then the whole hotel thing. Y'all know I like to travel. You had to go down in person. That's bullshit. Because I done had been on a vacation. My husband had a card that changed. I was on file for a hotel. And they couldn't charge the card because his card expired and he got a new one. They called our phone. And they wanted, a card to be given over the phone. And we gave it over the phone while driving on the 5 to LA. So you didn't have to go there, Juan. You did not have to go there. They just want a card for incidentals.
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm not even mad about that. I want to know why she reached out to you. What relationship do you have with this young lady where she felt comfortable enough to reach out to you personally and ask for you to pay for a room?
Yeah.
So
that's just weird. Like if I need a room paid for, I've known James since 2007. If I need a room paid for, he's the last person I'm going to call. Like, I'm not saying, like, I'm just not going to call a friend over like family.
But we don't know the context. Yeah, we don't know the context of the relationship. Because to me, I'm trying to figure out why she felt comfortable enough. Even you telling this story out your own mouth. You ain't say how you met the young lady. You didn't say who the young lady was, why she was in your DMs, asking you from. Oh, there my girl is at AMCD. Yes, she is, y'all. I tell you, this is the real one that be supporting. She do, and I definitely.
Housewives.
Yes, let's say Potomac, Lord. I thought this was the Bell Collective, not those boring Potomac House.
Listen, when Bell Collective is more interesting than you, something
is wrong. Something is definitely wrong here. There's no way that ratchet ass show should not be above this one that I actually look forward to recapping. But my whole thing, but once again, there's holes in this story with Juan and this young lady, and I feel like nobody is asking the right question. So Andy Bravo in that call center. Somebody better ask Juan if he actually shows up to this reunion because I don't want to see. I don't think he will either. I don't want to see Robin there by herself. If Robin is by herself, y'all might as well just terminate her contract then because there's no way. I need to know, how did Juan and the young lady meet? How long was she in your
filming
DM?
Juan if y'all aren't going to tell us more with the story. Right. And then Robin, I feel like, is just going to cry and have these meltdowns whenever people ask real questions. So it's time for them to go. It's time for them to go. She can take her and her silk-lined hats and they can go ride off into the basketball world together, coaching people just as dumb as they are. I don't have time for it.
Yeah. Oh, and Robin did mention she did another business venture. She's opening up a franchise with some skincare regimens, some shit. We wish you the best, Robin. We do. We hope something sticks.
Skincare.
Yeah. She's something with some skin. I wasn't paying that close attention because I was still stuck on Why nobody's asking Juan, who is the young lady? How long have you known her? Why was she in your DMs? What do y'all talk about? Why does she feel comfortable enough to ask you for money for a room?
Naya say he in between jobs. Bring him on the reunion. You know what? That's a good point. And I'm glad she said it. He has time. The nigga ain't got no job.
Right. So what are you doing all day long? Like,
If he doesn't come
bring.
to the reunion, he need to go.
I feel like he's not gonna. I honestly feel like he's not gonna come. I really do. I feel like he's not gonna show up because he knows he's gonna be in the hot seat. He knows they gonna grill him because this shit don't make sense coming out of Robin's mouth, and it didn't make sense coming out of his own damn mouth. It seemed like he was trying to get ahead of a lie and
That's
lie
what
even
they
more.
do on this show, though. That's what Michael Darby did. When people start like really, really wanting to grill him, he stopped coming
Yeah, he stopped showing up.
before
So
they
I
did.
yeah. So I don't think Juan's gonna be there, but we'll see what happens. So the next scene we show is Candace. She's driving up in the car. She's finna meet up with Aneka, and they're gonna have lunch. But before she does that, she calls Dorothy and tells Dorothy, that she went to the doctor and um, he's been on a lot of episodes, so he may show. He definitely can't turn down the check. You
I
know,
read somewhere that the
the men don't get
husbands
paid.
don't get
They
paid.
don't get paid on Bravo. None of the husbands
It's
do.
crazy because on like the
Hmm.
Housewives of New Jersey, the men are more interested than the women.
Right.
Like I don't get why they're not paid, but
They're paid to they can use the name like they're on the TV show. They could put it on their IGs. They can do it for appearances if they want to make money that way in other business ventures. But they don't get a check from Bravo. I've heard that from several people that from Bravo that the men do not get paid on the show, which would be terrible. But he gonna make sure Robin get her check because they definitely need that house they just built. They definitely need that check. So yeah. But moving on, Candace is talking. They found two lumps in her breast that they feel are lymphoids. Am I saying that right? Sorry, y'all,
yeah,
I don't know nothing about this stuff.
I think it's
So
lymph nodes. I
lymph
don't.
nodes, something like that. And Candace wants to be more proactive with it because she is scared. Breast cancer runs heavy in her family. We've seen
Oh,
this before. I think it was Dr. Contessa on Married to Medicine who had the double mastectomy because breast
Dr.
cancer.
Jackie.
Huh?
Dr. Jackie had cancer.
And Dr. Jackie, I know Dr. Jackie did, but
She had a double
mhm.
mastectomy. I thought.
Yeah, she did too. Okay, I know. I feel like Dr. Contessa did as well. I really do. I feel like she did, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I actually knew a guy who did it because breast cancer runs in men as well in his family. His dad had it. His grandfather had it. He's in that 1%. So he actually had it done,
That was
and
smart. It's more aggressive in men.
yeah, it is when you do get it. So you have to be careful. And so he got it. He had it done. He didn't even want to like go through it. He just said, take it out, all of it. I don't even care. And I said, next time, tell the doctor don't put no implant because he got implants to pop up his chest like two big ass coconuts. I said, don't ever do that again.
James, watch your mouth, James.
Right. So but I'm just saying, Candace is thinking she needs to be proactive as well. And that's the only thing I could think of that she can do that could, alleviate the fear of, you know, it possibly being breast cancer. Plus, she's young. I don't even think she's 40 yet. So this is a very young age to be having that big concern, but it can start early. Breast cancer can start early as well. I read about there's a woman who was actually 29 who was diagnosed with breast cancer. So it can happen young. So
It's more common in Black women to happen under 35.
yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's nothing, Candace, and we wishing you the best. But speaking, of this situation with her and Aneka, she meets up with Aneka for lunch. Um, I'm gonna say this because I watched it the first time, understanding Candace and what she was saying. But then when I watched it a second time, I actually felt like Candace was being unfair. So I'm gonna say it like this. So to give you guys the context of what I saw, and then we can discuss whether or not my feelings of Candace being unfair comes about. So she meets up with Aneka, and they, bring up Wendy in like a subtle way, where Aneka's saying, "I would love to get to know you more, and not have Wendy detour us from actually having a friendship." And Candace says, well, that's all fine and well, but some of the things you did start with her first by calling her a bitch. And Aneka was all like, "Well, did you have that same feeling when she called me a crackhead?" Well, Candace said, "Well, let's be fair. The bitch happened before the crackhead happened. And I don't want to be put in a situation where I have to choose between the two of you. So we can just play it by ear and see how it goes." Pretty much. I'm just summing it. I'm not going to say what they say each, you know, each by each, but I'm just saying to me, I felt Candace was being unfair because I feel like you could have a friendship with a NECA if you truly do like her as a person and then not step on Wendy's toes. I felt like you were just trying to show, you know, some, loyalty to Wendy in a sense saying, "Hey, I could be cool with you, go to lunch with you, but I ain't trying to be your friend because my loyalty lies over here." And I feel like that's so elementary school to do. So I felt like Candace, in a sense, was being unfair because this woman is genuinely trying to get to know you. Unfortunately, you attached to a woman she's beefing with right now, but that shouldn't have no bearings on y'all relationship. So I felt like it was being unfair. But then also to address my first book, I thought Candace was being calculated. I feel like well, not Candace. I feel like the show was being calculated, not necessarily Candace. I feel like they were letting Aneka and Candace meet up to kind of die down the colorism issue because y'all brought this Nigerian woman on this show to beef with the other one to show it's really her and it's not based on the color thing. That's how I felt at first. But then my second thought came in and I was like, okay, no, it's probably not that at all. What did you think about them two meeting up?
I entirely disagree with you. I actually think your stance is something that a lot of people will feel just because whether people can admit it or not, or conscious of it or not, when someone who's been not liked publicly on the show and has done shit, cried wolf, which I feel Candace has done, it's very easy to look at her and find issue. But if you pay attention to the conversation at the end of it, to me, the most important part was when Candace did try to discuss like Wendy and things of that nature. NECA was like suddenly, well, I'd rather not discuss this because it's different. But when you're with Robin and the Green Eyed Bandits, all you want to do is discuss Wendy. I feel like NECA met with Candace not out of anything genuine. I think it's very hard to say that she's genuine when we've only had her on the show for a couple of episodes. That's one. So separate from we just don't know her yet. And then two, it's very convenient that you want to meet up with Wendy's really only true friend on the show. Um, Especially when Wendy publicly said while they were in Austin with NECA in ear's length, you know, to Candace, like, you supposed to be my friend, like what you doing, like kind of trying to check her. So I don't I feel like Candace went there because the show was probably like, go there, you know. But I feel
Mhm.
like NECA feel like wanted to meet up with Candace and is acting like she wants to get to know everybody. But you came into this talking shit about somebody's family. That's not anyone I would ever trust, especially doing it on a television show in front of a group of people. I'm not saying Candace is innocent. I also feel like it is a little elementary what Wendy said to Candace, like, I don't like her, so you can't hang out with her. But Candace, you just said in your confessional that you're going to do what you want to do, and what goes on with Wendy shouldn't be an issue with how you treat NECA, which is nice, you know. But at the same time, if they were closer friends, I guess I'd expect her not to meet. But I know that none of these heifers are that close, except for the Green Eye Bandit. So I don't know. I didn't like how NECA more so in this scene. Now you don't want to talk about Wendy. Bitch, you came on this show talking about Wendy in confessionals with your husband, when you with the Green Eye Bandits, on cash trips. So now that you're with Candace, you don't want to talk about Wendy. And I can almost guarantee that we're going to see either in the next episode or in a few episodes later, NECA's going to run and tell the group that Candace was trying to discuss the issue of her and Wendy, and that NECA was like, and I was done with it. I moved on. I guarantee you, because I'm pretty good at reading people, I guarantee you she's going to try that. Yeah, she's a lawyer and they're sly and they try slick shit like that. So I don't know. I just want to see you practice law, NECA, and find a wig that's not a synthetic blend. That's all I want. That's it.
Interesting point.
The
Interesting
food looked
point.
good
Yeah,
though.
I felt like it did. I actually I googled that place because I do want to make a trip to DC, and I was like, I need to try that place because it did look good. Like
It looked
her
good.
oysters and yes, I was like, yes. So moving on from there, because I agree with you in that sense, and that's why I said, oh, it's a setup. I could see that. I agree. Yeah, I agree with it is being a setup to throw Candace under the bus. Because remember, Candace is on the outs with Giselle, Robin, and
Pretty
Ashley.
much the cast.
No, I think her and Karen are okay. Her and Mia are okay, especially at the end of this episode. We kind of saw
Mhm.
that. So I kind of felt like, yeah, I just feel like with the Green Eye Bandits and there's one little flunky over there, I feel like, and I said that's why I said that could be careful. Be careful how
Mhm.
you move in this group
They
because
turn their
we
back on
saw, we
everybody.
saw this happen with Wendy, and you ain't gonna be no different. Especially the way
Mhm.
Dr. Akina act when he was at that pickleball event. Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna come up again. Watch what happens, y'all. But moving on, we have Karen's Pave. Pave is the name. I don't want to get the name wrong. Pave was the name of the foundation, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. So Karen has an event. She has asked all the ladies to donate one of their business casual outfits that they do not wear anymore. That's most recent. So all the ladies, which I was so proud of them, all contributed to this cause. And what I will say, it was a very, very nice luncheon. And when that young lady started singing that song, I was like, dang, that is terrible. Like to see this beautiful lady be a victim of that. And then it opened up the floodgates in the confessionals for the other women to tell their stories. So we know that Robin has been violated. We know that Candace has been violated. Ashley has been violated. Mia has been violated. And I believe Karen has as well. So in terms, Mia is getting hit with this. Like when the girl started singing, Mia couldn't take it anymore and she walked out of the room and walked to the bathroom. Ashley, after a few minutes, goes out and goes checks on her. And Mia was pretty much telling Ashley about what happened to her, how she was angry with Jacqueline because the man who sexually assaulted her was Jacqueline's boyfriend. Now, for those of you guys who don't know who Jacqueline is, Jacqueline was Mia's friend she was on the show last season, and Mia was being extremely vile and mean to this lady. So when it came out, in terms of this man violating you and how you treated Jacqueline, I said, okay, it makes sense. But y'all, how can I lie to y'all? There were holes in Mia's story. There were holes in that story. So I don't know what to believe. I believe something happened to her. I'm not going to say I don't believe she,
I will say
nothing
this
happened.
because I am a victim of sexual assault, so that was difficult for me to watch. I don't, I don't think it's fair to say there's holes in the story of the essay victims when we're telling it because I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes those holes that the public doesn't hear and sees are the things that are too painful to speak about. Like I couldn't get through the episode. It took me a little while to get through it because the girl's song got to me. I'm sure anybody who's gone
Yeah, it
through
got to me too. Yeah.
that has like the emotional place it puts you. So I just feel what I will say in terms that I did seek and feel about Mia. Why are you like talking about and feel the need to bring up Jacqueline? I understand your feelings on what happened because it was her dude and you saying, oh, why would you leave me there and things like that, you know, but I don't think your friend would leave you anywhere
And
expecting
that's
you
the
to get,
hole that I was going to say. There was holes
harmed.
because we know who this is. I cannot see her leaving you in a situation like that unless it was a situation where she had to go to work or something and she says I'll be right back, or I just don't.
Why would you think your boyfriend's gonna assault your friend
Yeah,
though?
like why would she? Yeah,
Like,
like it's like that's so
yeah.
random to me. And then when she said it, what popped into my head is when she said that the sex was good with one of her boyfriends. She told Jacqueline that she needed to give it a try. So when that popped into my head that she actually said that on national TV. So when I equate that situation with this situation, I was like, I don't really.
That's why I don't like when these shows like this
Hmm.
talk about something that's serious because now you're making people question the victim. And then
Yes.
when people question the victim, that turns to victim shaming. Not from us, because we have sense, but
Right.
there's somebody in the world or on the internet that's going to take it too far. And no matter how we feel about Mia, she is still a victim
Mm-hmm.
of SA. So
Right.
she
No,
shouldn't
and I
be
know, and that's why I'm
victim,
saying I
but
just wish she wouldn't have told the story, because the story, I wish she wouldn't have put a context to a person. I wish she just said it was a friend of mine. I was like, because to me, when you said the name Jacqueline, all this history of Jacqueline from last season
mhm.
came to my mind. And
That's
it was
why she
like,
said the name, though. I can agree with that. Like, I'm going to say that the only thing with the holes in the story, I say that to protect the rest of the victims that don't have a platform, who unfortunately the people on these platforms could drive how people view victims. But why bring up Jacqueline's name knowing that she was a big point of your storyline last season? And then you do it so loud in the background. I think that's why the camera kept showing her talking and then us hearing her talking in the front. Like, people are going to respect it because you're in a room full of victims. But, like, I don't know. I don't know. Mia is hard to read, especially with how she told
mm-hmm.
us she had cancer and could die, and then it was something smaller and all this stuff. So it is hard to know with Mia specifically what's real and fake. And I don't like that she took away from something that was meant to
Be
bring
uplifting and
awareness to
positive.
not
Like,
Jacqueline, not the show, but to victims of SA. That's all that
right.
mattered. And she kind of made it into something else. So I don't know. I don't think Bravo should be showing shit like that on the show where bitches have been attacking each other
Thank
and
you.
going
Nia
crazy.
Green said it best. The lines get blurry because you're playing a serious cause and then the story is disjointed and random. And
Yeah.
that's where I'm meaning by holes. I'm not saying there's holes like as far as I was there and saw the whole thing. No, I'm not saying that. What I
Mm.
am saying is that she's not giving clear context of a person's character when we saw this lady last season, and the only thing which she admitted to, the reason why she was mean to her was because of the situation. But then that's also short-sighted too, because you're not being clear of why you're being mean to this lady. You're making it seem like this lady owed you money, that your husband co-signed for her Porsche, and giving out
Mhm.
all these different things to where that could be a reasoning. You're not saying, it's what I'm saying. It's like it's weird that she would bring that up. Like, it was just
And it's
weird to
not
me.
fair because Jacqueline can't really speak on that without
Exactly.
looking either bad or commenting on somebody's,
Exactly. So
you know,
it puts her at a double-edged sword too. That's
trauma.
why I'm saying I can't. Yeah, that's why I believe it happened. I do. I'm not saying that I don't believe it. But what I'm saying is that I don't like how she told the story. I don't like that you said, well, it's because of that. That's why I treated her so bad, when you didn't say that at the reunion, when you could have said that. That could have been something you could have exposed. Then we might have looked at the situation different. But the fact that you held it and waited for this moment to then bring it up when we had a clear visual of this lady and the accusations you already put out about her, it makes it even harder. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't, as a person, because it seems like you were almost blaming her for why this happened to you, even though
She
you said you
was.
didn't.
She said to Ashley and broke down in tears, did she leave me? And my thing is, leave you to go where? Because when you were explaining your story, you started to explain what Jacqueline could have been doing and the fact that she has somewhere to be. Where did she have to be? Because you're not, that's the part I will say is a hole that's not related to the actual assault that she went through.
Right.
Where did Jacqueline have to be? Because you said that she left you and then you started to explain it. Then you suddenly start crying. Where did Jacqueline need to be? I hope that at the very least is clarified at the reunion. But going forward, no shade. Every victim has a story. I don't want to hear Mia's any further because I feel like what Nia said is definitely the best way to explain it. The line gets blurry and then you put other people at risk, people you don't even know who are victims of stuff. You're putting them at risk because now they may be questioned and all of that. And I've been through it to have to be questioned by the police. They questioned me right after it happened to me. I didn't even get to sleep. I was up all night. And I had a friend who was there with me. Shout out to Jasmine when it happened because I was assaulted in a public movie theater. And my friend was watching the movie thinking I'm just meeting up with the dude. I'm literally in the hallway of the movie theater while he's assaulting me. And I'm like, why didn't she hear me? Why didn't this and that? Nobody could hear. I was at the theater, but I didn't blame my friend or be
No.
like, why did you leave me? Why didn't you come check on me? You know, at the end of the day, the person who's wrong is the person who's assaulted you.
Right.
And if you go to therapy and actually work on yourself, Mia, which you should do, you'll be able to
I just
eventually connect
wish
those
he
dots.
yeah, I just wish she would have kept this story, or if she was going to tell it, not bring Jacqueline in it, even though it was her truth to say it. Because
Mhm.
I'm just saying, like, based on how that played out last season, and based on the things that she tried to do to destroy her, it was kind of like, okay, you're now adding another layer. Now, I get in real time today, they are back on good terms. I get that now. I saw that on Instagram. Saw that. That's why I said I saw it on Instagram today. They are back on good terms. They just did like a video or TikTok or something.
Mhm.
So I don't know, but going to the going to the next part of this movie, Karen, gets up and thanks the ladies. They all take a picture, and Giselle pulls the lady aside to say, "Hey, my daughter's going to college. What can
That
I
annoyed
tell
me.
her?"
That fucking annoyed the shit out of me for some reason. It annoyed the life out of me. And I'm still trying to figure out why, but it felt disingenuous. That's all I can say for now. I
It
know that's
did.
wrong because it's her
It did
daughter,
because,
but
well, one, it was like, Giselle, come on, like, you could have taught. There's no amount of teaching you could teach your kids to prevent situations because there's sick people out there in this world,
that's
unfortunately.
thank you for saying that because that's it. Thank you. Literally ripped out what was
Yeah, like,
aggravating
yeah,
me.
it was like, you like, come on, like we get it's a useful thing, and I'm glad the lady gave her answer. I'm glad she did. But y'all have to understand something. There are sick people out there in this world. You can prepare your kids for the most. I have been sexually assaulted. It is the worst, even as a man saying this. And the person who I met that did it to me, I would have never thought in a million years that that line would have been crossed, but it was. So you can prepare your kids, you can give them all of the knowledge for them to channel their discernment, but it does not matter at the end of the day, because bad people are still going to do bad things regardless of what you prepare them for.
That's why, like you said, you tell your kids if something happened to you, do not be afraid to speak up and tell
Yes.
someone. And if something happens, don't be afraid to report it and to be aware and try to avoid creepy people. But the same thing that James said, I think that's an important point to bring up with sexual assault in general. It's usually someone that the victim would not expect, trust to some extent, or unfortunately within family. Like that's usually how it goes. So I didn't like just Giselle doing that. I felt like she tried to make the moment about like her, bring the cameras back, like kind of like play producer a little bit with that. And it's like you're in
Mhm.
a room full of people who have been through this. How are you more scared than people who've gone through this? So it's kind of like your daughter's going to college. She seems smart. We done seen her flip the man over. I'm not saying that's gonna save her, but all you can do is
Right.
that her kids seem smart too, Giselle's kids. But I didn't like that shit. Giselle irritated my soul with that. But
Yeah. So I hope that, in all this, once again, about Mia, just to close this off, I'm not saying anything that she was wrong for telling her story. I just need her, when she's throwing names of someone we actually did see and we saw her attack on this show, I want her to give better context to stories, because that to me was really even digging the knife even deeper. That's all I'm saying. So I want to make sure I clarified my words, because that to me was kind of fucked up that you did that,
yeah,
especially if in today's time you and this girl are fine today.
right now she's probably having the answer. Got probably all sorts of questions on her.
Absolutely. Because
Yeah,
I would,
you
if
leave
that
your
was me,
friend.
like, where did I leave you? Wait, what just happened? Like, if I was Jacqueline, she would have some explaining to do. Because there's no way I would watch that and think, and Jacqueline, tell your side of the story. Where were you at? Why did you leave her, according to me?
Yeah, and it's just the thing. She shouldn't have to tell her side of the story for something she didn't fucking do.
Well, we
So
don't, once again, that's why I said it
no, what I'm
may,
saying, even if Jacqueline did intentionally leave Mia with them, thinking, oh, whatever, she'll be good, even if she didn't have to go to work. The fact that her name was brought up, now she has to defend herself to some extent
Once again.
over something that she did not do. She did not sexually assault anybody.
But that's what
Her
I'm
boyfriend
saying.
did. It's
Once
fucked up.
again, yeah, it's once again, Jacqueline now has to go into a defense over Mia. And that's why I said she could have just left the name silent. Because at the end of the day, if you made up with this lady now in today's time and you knew this was going to air, this makes it look uncredible to me as far as the story, not the situation, the
This show
story.
just needs a cast shakeup
It
because the
does. Because
stuff that
this is
people are willing
ridiculous.
to do and the lack of interest in episodes that I have, I'm just like, we need a cast shakeup. Shake it up.
Yes. But that was real hot. This actually was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, y'all. I know I'm late to Married to Medicine, but that's okay. We will get there. But I just wanted to go ahead and just, give my piece, my opinion of the situation. We respect anybody. And if you know something, say something. For those of you who live in that shame, do not. There are resources out there, I promise you, that will help you get through it. It's not going to always be an easy road, but if you do the work, you'll learn to live with it better. That
Mm-hmm.
way you're not holding other people responsible or accountable for something that happened to you, because that's another thing that we do in this world as well. We have to get help. So if you know something, say something. And everybody be safe out there because this world is crazy. Love you guys. We'll see you guys on the next recap, which will be Married to Medicine. And then we calling it a night, y'all. See you there.